Aloha, Mother Fathers. Welcome in another episode of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. Man, I can't even do a fucking intro anymore. That's great. It's going to be a great show.
We've only done this like 60 times now.
It's I got to go back and label because I miss track of what episodes which anymore. But yeah, we're deep into this thing, man. We're over a year plus in.
I think, what is this, late February? We might be close to 60. It might be 60 episodes.
I'm going to go back, and I think I'm going to, for every full episode, I'm going to put, because you have, Side Hustle, you have, a little thing, and you have, the description of the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to do, Side Hustle 1, 2, 3, 4, just, a number change a little bit. So
40 episodes ago, we did our last Let's Fix It.
Yeah, that's that faded away real fucking quick.
Well, it'll return. We've been busy, so it will return. It will projects.
It will return.
There are new projects.
Maybe.
If we want to do a full recap real quick in 30 seconds of the Let's Fix This we have done.
Oh, shit, you remember them?
Yeah, so the first one we did was AEW. That bombed. The second one was Austin Theory.
Well, that wasn't the second one. That was, the one that was supposed to be second, but got pushed to fourth. Then it
You're
became,
right.
Sixth.
Yeah.
And then eventually we got to it.
But Austin Theory, slow, but it's starting to turn a little bit. Oh, Karrion Kross was the second one.
We did Cross. Did we do New Day?
We did not. We did Karrion Kross. We did John Moxley.
We did.
And
you got your wish. They incorporated Renee Moore into it.
Execution.
Don't talk about executions.
Oh, sorry.
This is not the time or place.
Sorry.
This is not 15th century France. What the fuck is wrong with you?
My bad.
God, watch your fucking mouth. Jesus.
We will refrain from using the words.
Dick. No, we won't. I mean, that's why we do this.
No.
Well, that's why I do this. I know. We have a lot.
Huh?
We have a lot today.
We do. We got to jump right in.
Yeah.
Within the next 10 minutes, we're flying. 10 minutes from now, we're getting to this. So keep your eyes peeled because we got a lot to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Moment of the Week, brought to you by BA Sweeties. You raved about this match. So I did not watch Raw live on Monday. I had some family stuff going on Monday, so I watched the replay on Tuesday. But watch this match. Really, really hard-hitting. And from the reaction I saw from those who watch live, because the end time for Raw is very flexible week to week, you didn't really know who was going to win this match. A lot of story went into it, a lot of great action, and a great finish. And now we got new tag champs.
This was... I sent you the text in the moment. I basically said, this is what AEW is trying to do. But... because of the underlying stories with this and how they've been told and the talent in the ring, let's be honest, too. I mean, Bianca Belair is possibly the most talented women's wrestler we have right now, period, across any promotion. I mean...
and that's why I'm personally happy that she's going to file... She's done great work in the tag team division. Now she's going back to singles. It's a big story. I believe it's coming. I think we all believe it's coming. We don't know who it's coming for because there's two options in that story, but I think there's a big story coming up.
There's some shit about to go down, and we're excited about
that. We said somebody's heel turn is cooking. Not in that frame, but it's cooking. And but yeah, great match.
It was cooked a while ago, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, this match,
a fresh pot.
The false finish is overused a lot in AEW. And a lot of the kickouts and the no selling and all that stuff, which we'll dive into a little bit more later, which obviously has been a sore subject for some people on social media, which, good God. But this is how you do it. It's the main event match. In a match that, honestly, dude, I wasn't super thrilled about before. When I heard it was the main event, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, should it something else have been the main event of the show? I actually watched the match from bell to bell, and I was like, wow. Like, this was actually all the way through. It had me on the edge of my seat. This may get a 5-star rating from Dave, possibly.
No, it won't.
It'll get like 2.5.
Yeah.
But but honestly...
that's the over. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Listen, kudos to all the women in this match. Y'all did a great job. There was a couple things here or there, but other than that, I mean, this was really good, and the right people won.
I mean, even the booking of Dom Mysterio pisses me off every single week. So he's doing his job. I mean, he's doing his job.
He did his job.
He's doing his job.
And this is a bigger thing for the Judgment Day in its own right, too. One thing we didn't talk about, which I want to include in this, just because it's a huge thing that could happen, is the stare down with Finn and Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Because it is Judgment Day collected, and now there's talk about a new member, all this as well.
Which
and
Finn doesn't want. Finn
is
want.
Essentially the only person that doesn't want a new member. But if you notice, when people listen to Liv, they actually do win or don't get beat up nearly as badly. When you listen to Finn, you don't win. You lose. You get your ass kicked. It's pretty rough. I'm right now putting this into the universe and hoping that someone picks it up, that Braun Breaker should be the new leader of the Judgment Day.
Well, you know what?
Just going to say it. I'm sure people aren't going to like it, but I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say
you're going to be out there with that opinion. I'm not
no
saying,
Finn.
I'm not saying this.
No more Finn. Obviously, JD would leave with that too, but having Braun with Liv, with Raquel, with Dom,
Finn's out. Finn, that part,
Yeah.
Finn's out.
JD
now,
will probably go with him.
It'll be a matter of how they go through with it, but it's clear. It's one of those things where all right, Finn was a core member of the Judgment Day, but the Judgment Day is a different group now. It's a different house than what it used to be, and Finn has lost his influence. In fact, the one person he was able to tie himself to, that turned Damian Priest, and he's gone. He's on another show now. That's why he was so uptight about all the heat with Damian Priest for the last year, because maybe deep down he was hurt about that. Now, on the flip side, let's say they go with what you just said. I don't even know if Braun Breaker is included in this theory, but let's just say that he is. On the other side, a partnership with Finn and AJ Styles. I wonder how you get there, but obviously there is a backstory, there's history. For those who are in the weeds, those who know, there is a backstory. Now, for those who don't know, maybe in the mainstream, that has to be something that has to be asked, has to be addressed.
Which they'll do.
But
they're not shy about it anymore.
Oh,
so.
Of course not. It would be cool.
It would.
It would be cool.
I think a face Finn Balor and AJ Styles versus a heel Judgment Day group with Braun kind of being like the badass character, but he changes the attitude of the Judgment Day a little bit, where it's more, no, we're fucking serious. Like, Dom, enough of this bullshit. Like, you're becoming a champion. Like, we're not fucking around. Not the North American champion. Like, he's going to find a way to become IC champ, and then Braun's going to go for the World Heavyweight title. Like, I think that group with him and Liv kind of leading it, no nonsense, no bullshit, just like actually smash mouth, fuck you up. Like, we're actually being taken seriously as monster heels on this show. It could be a thing.
Everyone in this match, I think, did some of their best work. Raquel Rodriguez, you can see her improvement. I'm glad, she had the health scare, what was it, a year ago or something like.
It's been a long road back for her.
Yeah.
She's finally started getting the rhythm again now. We're starting to see things that she was doing before she left.
And we're seeing a character from her, too. Like, she's doing a fantastic job.
She's the Diesel of this group.
Yeah, she's doing a fantastic job in this row. Oh, and there's still beef between these two, but it's more of like, all right, I'm going to live with it. We're going to.
She's going to live with it. Wordplay.
Naomi, I think did her best WWE work in this tag team with Bianca Belair. Again, what's next for her
is going to be crucial.
Is honestly could be a make or break for her career.
She's either the person or she's the sacrificial lamb. She's one of the two. What's she going to be? Is she going to get turned on, or is she doing the turning? Either way, I'm not mad when she turns, but that's beside the point.
That alone is
Jimmy.
a sweet moment. Yeet.
Proud of you, brother.
And then Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is one of those, before whatever's about to happen with her happens, Bianca Belair is one of those superstars. You have a player on your favorite team or whoever it may be that you never really talk about. You just expect greatness. You just expect that person to do well, and they do, and they're solid the entire way, and it almost feels like you don't recognize them enough. That's Bianca Belair.
She's on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
for women's wrestlers. I know that could be, again, hot take, still early-ish in her career, so to speak, but she's been around for a while. But
Well, you had that take last year when we did that at the
Mhm.
table last
Mhm.
year, and she's added on a tag team run with this.
Well, I told you what she meant to the entire industry. I mean, let alone for just women's wrestling, but obviously, black females that have been grinding away trying to get that spot, and she's dominated in that spot. So she very well could be on her way to main eventing WrestleMania again.
She's
So.
doing a great job. Everyone in this match, even Dom, did a great job in this match. I wanted to, get the hell out of there.
Until you talk about Ray, then obviously you're on Dom's side.
Hell yeah. His real father's. I'm sorry. We're gonna get to the sour moment of the week. I was at.
Look
Sweeties.
at you! Look at
That.
you!
I was at Sweeties.
Doing a little shopping there,
Listen,
huh?
Listen.
What'd you find?
So, Kit Kats. I got like a whole bunch of Kit Kats. I start and stop with Kit Kats. Always. I start and stop there.
That's your thing, man.
Rebecca and I, we're going to dive into the cotton candy popcorn. That's right there. You can see that. We're going to dive in.
Making me regret my diet.
We're not even joking. We talk about with BA Sweeties, locally produced popcorn from the Campbell's Company out of Strongsville.
Yeah.
Listen, when you walk in and you see loads of popcorn just roll. Man. Yeah, like little kids and stuff running around too when I was there.
It's an awesome environment, and obviously family friendly too. I mean, it's a place you want to go, and we talked about it. Easter is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is their Super Bowl. This is the
Mhm.
time where things start getting real crazy. Maybe they start selling out of some stuff too. So you definitely want to be one of the first people to get there and find your treats, man. Whatever you're looking for, they're gonna have it. And like Tom mentioned to us one time too, people will come and they'll find the thing they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take a wrong turn down an aisle, and they'll find like 3 more things where it's like, I didn't even know that it was even existed or wasn't here.
That's
or that you had
why the Pop Rocks are there. That's why the Pop Rocks.
Look in a cart when you go or into a basket at BA Sweetie. You're probably gonna find someone that said, "Yeah, I wanted this." Well, you got 4 things in your cart. I know. Like, yeah, okay, it makes a lot of sense.
We're gonna play the commercial. After the commercial, I want to point out a quick item that is in this basket. That's like, hey, Rebecca, since you like sour, you go try this and you will love it. And don't be ashamed that you're trying this because it's in a unique style. You can only get it at BA Sweeties. Watch this little flyover here that BA Sweeties has provided for you. 75 years. 75 years in business, largest candy store. And I don't think we say that enough, that it is the largest candy store in North America.
It's the largest candy store in North America.
Say it again.
America.
All right. So, right by...
I Kennedy'd that.
So, at the top...
North America! America!
Kennedy!
This dude came out and basically did that. That was his entrance. He come out, it's Mr. Kennedy!
Then you walk up the top rope.
Kennedy!
Man.
Because the people at the top of the arena couldn't hear him the first time. So he had to say it again.
How did he ruin his career? What
It's
happened?
not how, it's who.
Who ruined his career?
Cena got buried for that. Because
Oh,
Cena was the
yeah.
guy that didn't want to work with him, I'm pretty sure. And
That's
that's
right.
what caused them to basically get shipped off and fired
Yeah.
to TNA. And
Well, remember, he won Money in the Bank.
he did.
And then he was the only one who, until, Damien Sandow, years later, he lost it. He never even had his Money in the Bank, match.
He just lost the
He just
briefcase.
lost it.
Because I swear to God, I remember the story coming out around that Cena just didn't want to work with him.
So, yes, something
like him.
happened
Yeah.
with Mr. Kennedy. Because that was, Mr. Kennedy
Shame,
was
he was over.
He was the next big thing in WWE, and it just fell apart. In the top left corner, that top left photo, is a sour. I forgot the exact name of the product, but it's a sour toilet. So you get a couple of suckers, and you dip it into.
What is that, bro? Man, that's some sour shit, man.
And you dip it. And you dip it into the bowl.
Dip it into the toilet.
Yeah, you dip it into the bowl.
I'm so glad my son doesn't watch this show, because guess where we be tomorrow? So what does that have to do with Skibbity Toilet? Is that a thing? Or like...
No, it's the shape of the product is out of a toilet. That's the shape of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so Rebecca wanted something. Again, you see, it's packed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to some of the people there, and they were mentioning, and I'll show this now, bring up the address. Busiest that they have seen BA Sweeties.
It's that time of year, baby.
Since, just they've been there, and it's pretty cool. Again, we hear stories all the time of people, who watch this show, listen to this show, and like, well, I gotta go to BA Sweeties. I gotta check something out. I got to get something for a birthday party. I got to get something for a holiday party. Got to get something for Easter or Valentine's Day. And we both mention this. Kyle usually mentions this. Like, when you go to BA Sweeties, let them know that Kyle and Double A and the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast sent you to BA Sweeties. They love hearing testimonies and stories about how they found this incredible candy, popcorn, pop location.
Essentially, man, it's one of the things that Tom mentioned. Like, at one point, they actually had taken surveys of people, like, "Hey, where'd you come from? What'd you do?" Like, they obviously do zip codes now when you get to the
they
register.
they do the zip codes.
So they can kind of track and see where you're from, that kind of stuff, because they love knowing people that come out of state, people that come from Southern Ohio, wherever it is, all across the country, even the world in some instances too, to come just experience the largest candy store in North America. But nevertheless, I mean, yeah, tell them about us. I mean, that's the cool thing. It not only just validates them for believing in Double A and myself, but obviously that the message is getting out there. I mean, that these guys are fantastic. It's been one of the people that are, I think, essentially they were our first, company that decided to, back us and work with us, and we appreciate Tom and everyone down there for the great
sponsor.
work.
Yep.
Yeah, they've done great work not only with us, but obviously in their own right, 75 years of being, the top, the A1 of the candy industry.
6770 Brook Park Road. That's 6770 Brook Park Road. Interstate 480, the Ridge Road exit. Make a left on Brook Park Road. You'll see the giant lollipop. Kyle may or may not be on top of the lollipop. Turn right on in, and you'll be right there. Candy Paradise at BA Sweeties. And right after Easter, pretty soon, Golfland will be opening up as well.
Excited about that.
So we cannot wait for that. All right, we're going to take 2 minutes again. 2 minutes from now, we're talking Final Boss.
We got to bring out the fucking timer because we don't ever.
I want to quickly address our sour moment of the week. I have great concerns about Tiffany and Tiffany Stratton as a babyface. Number one, this entire segment was a disaster from SmackDown. Nia Jax sat on Trish and Tiffy. That was bad. Charlotte Flair on commentary. That was bad. This feud with Tiffy and Charlotte Flair, in my opinion, is not off to a good start. But we got a ways to go, but it's not off to a good start. And part of the reason is now that we're in WrestleMania season, I'm trying to be very patient here with Tiffany Stratton. I know she's a great talent, and she's learning on the job. The problem with learning on the job is that we're in WrestleMania season. As a babyface, I need to be able to be locked into your story. Why should you? First off, you're the champion, so you're not really chasing. But I understand as far as legacy, what you're going after. You're trying to displace Charlotte Flair. With that being said, I don't sense the confidence. I don't sense the confidence within your character. I don't sense that things are really, really coming together as a babyface. And honestly, for people who are saying that SmackDown is a bit of a hard watch, I will admit that Tiffany's involvement did not improve the show this past Friday from a promo standpoint. And then Nia and Candice, that didn't help. And then Charlotte on commentary didn't help. So Tiffany has got to turn this around if she wants a successful build. Because I will promise you this. If Tiffy is not able to turn this around, there is a strong chance that Charlotte will actually win that championship at WrestleMania.
There's already a strong chance she will.
So this is a point right now where Tiffany has to prove that she could deliver on the babyface side of things. And it's going to happen right now because she is in a championship match at WrestleMania. So she can't just learn on the job. This has to come through. She has to come through right now.
I liken this a little bit to, remember when Charlotte faced Rhea for the NXT championship at WrestleMania? That's what I kind of liken this to. Now it's different because Tiffany's holding a main roster championship. But I think of Tiffany now like I think of Rhea. Not quite ready for that yet. She needed to go through a few more ebbs and flows. Needed to lose in some of those moments to really kind of understand the hunger and find her true voice. I think when I listen to Tiffany, I don't really believe her.
I don't believe her at all.
I think she needs time to develop that. That's the one thing she hasn't had to do too much. She's been kind of, a couple lines here or there. She's been, the rich girl gimmick, all that stuff, whatever it is.
What else does she have to deliver after she says Tiffy time?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, she's got to find it. I imagine the writers that's their job to help with it too. But I mean, she's got to be able to find that next level. She isn't there yet, obviously, but I mean, that's what this whole experience is now going to be about is literally, Charlotte mentioned it, kind of pointed it out when she initially was thinking about picking someone or whatever it was. I see a child that wants me to make her a star. I mean, Charlotte is a name. She's a 14-time champion. She's got the pedigree. She's got the big match draw. She has the wrestling ability. She has the confidence that Tiffany doesn't really have.
And
yet.
Charlotte Flair's character is not designed to put you over during the build.
It's not.
It's not designed.
It's sink or swim.
Yeah, literally, you have got to be able to stand tall, or else you're toast.
And people loved the match with Rhea and Charlotte, but if you remember, a lot of the talk before the match too was, man, I don't know what they're doing with this. Why did she pick her? It's NXT. There was a lot of concerns about it, and obviously the match tore down the house. And Rhea obviously was then able to eventually find her way, find her voice, find her true character. And now look at Rhea. She's the biggest star possibly in the world when it comes. I would even go beyond just, WWE and just women's wrestling. Maybe even wrestling in general. One of the most recognizable faces across all of professional wrestling from, coast to coast, whatever you want to call it. But Tiffany's not there yet.
Not there yet.
No. But she's got time. She's got a chance. And she's probably going to lose at WrestleMania because this is a building moment for her. It's not a... And I also want to obviously legitimize the Royal Rumble even more and make it feel like, hey, if you win that, you really could be champion. But,
But her job, even if she's booked to lose, her job is for us... When we preview WrestleMania, the show before WrestleMania, our job is to talk ourselves into, you got to book her to win. That's her job. If she can't do that, if we're saying the show before WrestleMania, if we come out of here, if the fans say, you know what, maybe it's not a bad idea that Charlotte wins the championship, Tiffany did not do her job.
Yeah, because right now nobody wants Charlotte to win it. But if Tiffany can't convince people,
it's like Triple H and Cena back when they first met up at Mania 22. Triple H, during that moment, and that, King of Kings burial Triple H, he will not put you over. You got to be able to stand up to him on the microphone. And John Cena had to learn that. Same deal here on a different scale with Tiffany and Charlotte Flair.
We'll see.
Nia Jax spot. Okay.
Hey, you know what? I mean, not the best work, but at the same point, she's obviously been a workhorse too.
Oh,
I give her a lot of credit for what she's done. There's always improvement, but I mean,
all right, this is why we're here.
Sometimes you just got to know your role and shut your mouth. This guy.
All right.
This guy.
The final boss. I put up here good, bad, and ugly. It may not be ugly, but
there wasn't a lot of good.
Let me identify some good first. The man's effing entertaining. The man is entertaining, and this is the tough part. Is
it wasn't though.
Well,
what was entertaining about it? The confusing entrance or the fact that he kind of rambled on for a while before he finally got to the point. He repeated the same line 10 times in a row.
He himself just showing up.
He has an aura. He has an aura about him.
That's all I'm saying.
I wasn't entertained. I thought it was a waste of fucking time.
Well, I thought how can you sum this up?
I'm waiting. I'd love to hear it.
No, how can you sum this up?
How could I sum up what I saw or
no,
what he did?
Just the final boss, just the character. The way you sum it up, you could tell that The Rock was not working with a producer, number one. You could tell that The Rock is
never does.
Out there. Just,
well, he has the one guy he did.
He's just out there floundering, right? I will admit.
Put the promos on your wrist again.
I will. That might help. I will admit, when he remembers that he's a heel and drops insults to the crowd, I feel bad. Maybe I'm breaking the rules as a fan.
Shut your mouth before I snap the syphilis off your face.
It's hilarious. I'm sorry. Him cracking jokes to the crowd.
Swearing on the one show where he can't actually swear on, but if he went to Netflix, he could say the things he wanted to say and not get believed.
Right. It's pretty irritating. But fundamentally, this was horse crap.
Oh, it was
fundamentally, this entire thing, everything was just horse crap about it.
I am likened to want to believe that the end game in all of this will be very entertaining because obviously Cody's going to tell him to pound salt. I think we both can. The whole gist of this was this, and I think you have it on the next slide too, but the sell your soul thing. He'll talk more about who he thinks. I was actually really curious because he put a video out, and you did The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Minute 45-minute video. 1 minute 43 seconds. Didn't say who he thought was going to sell his soul.
I did.
I'm like, all right.
I effectively plugged the show.
What do you got,
I effectively plugged the show.
What are you thinking, man? What do you think? I'm excited now. We haven't talked about this. I'm like, okay. I'm like, who was he? I'll tell you who on the show. I'm like, fuck. I was on my fucking couch watching this on my phone, glued to my iPhone 12 because I'm a basic bitch and don't upgrade, and looking at it, and I'm like, tell me. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, this is great. Oh, he's doing a great job. Oh my God. Like, he's cutting a fucking promo at this point. Like, it's on point. Who's gonna be the one? Who is gonna be the one to sell their soul to The Rock? I'll tell you about it on Thursday's show. I'm like, fuck! Like, shit! Now I gotta watch. Like, now I gotta watch. Son of a bitch. Like, what a masterful job. I think The Rock should watch that.
Thank you.
Because even though you did ramble a little bit, you did get to the point a lot quicker than The Rock fucking did.
Yeah.
Because, my God. Holy shit, this dude just, like, there's an aura. And you mentioned flipping back and forth because he has to half promote the fact that WrestleMania is going to New Orleans and for 42.
Yeah.
But also he has to remember that he's also there as the final boss and has to be a heel. But that was rough.
He has to remember
Cody's reaction like it was a fucking shock to him. Like, he preached power back at WrestleMania 40. Like, that was his thing. That's how he got into the whole situation, was because he's director of the board of TK. Like, it's a story that's been told. This should not be surprising to you.
The final boss in 2025 so far has been a flop. In 2025.
It's Luther Kendrick.
I still don't understand the Netflix thing.
He a flop.
And as far as the story, look.
Well, now the Netflix thing makes a little more sense because he did butter him up.
I understand that.
So he's trying to get on his good side to make this, okay, I watched you beat who I would consider he's my tribal chief. I gave him the Ula Fala. Mm-hmm. You beat him. So
maybe
honestly,
maybe that's the goal this entire time.
Yeah.
Is that if we talk about this a year from now, we should be able to go back and say, that makes sense. All his rambling, from Diddy Rock, all of it makes sense.
Jesus Christ.
All of it makes sense.
Diddy Rock?
I want your soul.
Was he at one of those parties?
I want your soul. All I could think of was making the band. I want your soul. I don't want that championship. I don't want that cheesecake. I want your soul.
I kind of want that cheesecake.
You don't want that cheesecake.
I want a cheesecake.
That cheesecake will send you to jail. You don't want that cheesecake. No.
Minimum security.
No. You need maximum security.
Yeah, zip it up like a hoodie.
Over tight. Oops, sorry.
Oh shit! But yeah, this was.
So I guess so for those who are like, wait a minute, how the hell did we even get to this point? I guess the reports from what we've seen on the internet was basically Triple H and the entire WWE writing team. They had a big picture of what they wanted for WrestleMania, but they all understood that whenever The Rock felt there was a story that presents itself, he's gonna jump in. That's why we did the topic 2 weeks ago. WrestleMania could be set, but what if The Rock just says, I'm ready to jump in? So if we assume that that's the case, then you got that. And the other thing that went in was apparently The Rock said, do not promote this until the night before. So that's why we didn't hear anything about this on Raw or nothing. Like the night before, promote this on, on social media. Smackdown got big numbers from fans who rated for The Rock. I thought it was actually smart to have The Rock on in that 9:45 quarter hour instead of the third hour when people are dead tired on a Friday night.
Yeah.
But as far as what was seen, the thing with Rock segments, with Diddy Rock segments, is that unfortunately things that could be accomplished, in 5 minutes happen in 30 minutes.
They could have even done this like in 10, 15, and I would have been satisfied with it. But I mean, yeah, just too much, too long, kind of drone down a while. And again,
and on Twitter, you do not need to say that you're playing a character. To me, that's the biggest penalty.
Yeah, I know.
This is, you don't watch your favorite TV show and the actor is saying, man, well, I'm playing the head coach.
The Rock isn't going in Scorpion King and going, oh, by the way, I'm actually Dwayne Johnson. I'm only playing the Scorpion King in this movie. Like, no, like you.
I'm sorry that you have to hate me.
Live in the role,
in this movie.
Don't apologize. Like, you can be the final boss and still say WrestleMania is coming to New Orleans next year. Like, you don't have to fucking.
I don't understand that. I don't understand. You don't need to.
He loves the cheers. What I don't buy, he also loves the booze. But what I don't buy is
he just loves the reaction.
I don't buy this came out of nowhere. I think that there was always a plan to incorporate him somehow. I don't know if the schedule he had would allow him to wrestle, but I think there was always a plan to include him in some form or capacity with either the build to or the actual event itself in Vegas. I think there was always a plan to get him there with a planned story, but how involved was he going to be depends on his schedule, and I think that's where it's like, okay, open up a little bit, he can actually...
In my opinion, I don't think he's wrestling at Mania.
I don't think so either. But then again, what the fuck do we know, right? I mean, we don't write the show. But I doubt this was never like, oh yeah, we have no idea whatever he's gonna do. Like they plan this shit out like months in advance. They know what the fuck's going on.
So The Rock shows up. He announces that WrestleMania is going to be in New Orleans, and then he rambled for the next 25 minutes and says he doesn't want the championship. He wants Cody Rhodes' soul. Now and this, I guess, the pay-per-view Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Will Cody accept that? Well, coming up, will he accept that? And if the answer is no, who will?
I can't wait to hear who you think is going to do it.
We got that coming up here on the show. Also coming up, our Elimination Chamber predictions.
You're not going to like mine.
But first, I keep hearing week after week, SmackDown is effing terrible. Like, SmackDown is garbage.
It's just longer.
It's not a good show. It's not. So I did a homework assignment. I went back on a Tuesday night while you might have been watching Nip Slips. I was watching SmackDown.
Nip Slips? You were assuming that the majority of beats like what? Like
there was a nip slip on NXT. Look it up during our commercial.
I kind of have to. I'm curious. I have a wish list of who it was. We'll see if one of them gets checked off. Don't tell me. I don't want.
I will not.
Don't tell them either. You fucking perverts.
Family show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they may be rated PG, but unfortunately, this show isn't.
Is SmackDown really, really that bad? We got to address it.
Okay.
Coming up. on the other side. We got rapid fire as well, and Kyle has something to get off his chest. So
it's not the shirt, so you're going to want to watch this.
So we have a loaded second half of the show coming up here. But first, a word from our friends and your friends to all of you. Tom, do you know where everything is here in the store?
No.
Okay.
No. In a general idea, I do, but I can't tell you how many times my office is on the floor of the store,
Right.
and my door is always open. All our managers' doors are always open if they're there. So if any customer has a question or whatever, if they can't find an employee, stock guy or whatever on the floor, they can just, hey, where's this at? So I can't tell you how many times a customer would come in and say, can you tell me where sugar-free candy is? And I'll say 12N. No, I say no, 12S.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And it says it's right down. Go down this way because you're in aisle 7 now. 5 more aisles or whatever. And then I'll think about it after they leave, and I'm like, oh man, I told them the wrong aisle. It's aisle 13.
What should fans who might be watching you here in Cleveland for the first time, hey, they look you up on the website, on the app, they call you, what should they expect?
Yeah, I mean, first off, between me and my team, you're going to get one of us. If you want to deal directly with the man, you're more than welcome to. I don't mind. I love working with customers because I look at it this way. I have a lot of good life experience financially. I've said 12 years of banking. I've got now 2.5 years of insurance. I have a lot of money and just kind of life and financial stuff knowledge. So that's what I look to do, is to truly help people get from that point A to point B financially. It's not about just, saving money on auto insurance, sure, but if I can kind of turn that into a better discussion, really help people understand what actually insurance does, why it's important, because it's not a tangible. I joke when I leave that I lock the office door so no one steals all the insurance, but there's not just insurance laying around. So there's just it's kind of a mystery kind of component in people's lives that they think is a scam and all the different things you hear. It's not. It can feel like it sometimes. I'm not even going to say that it doesn't, but if you understand how it works and understand and have a person who you can go to help with those kind of situations, that's what we're here to do. That's what my team's here to do. That's what I'm here to do, and that's what I take a lot of pride and have a lot of passion in, obviously, as you can probably tell. So,
Well, I know you said the joke, hey, we lock the door so no one steals the insurance, but it's exactly right.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick. With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh. I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
So we want to congratulate Megan, by the way. This past week, Omega Video Marketing officially became an LLC business, certified by the state of Ohio. Huge week for Omega Video Marketing.
It's awesome. Again, you guys saw it there too in the ad as well. But just a professional that brings so much to your business. We've talked about it before, whether you're still on the come up, trying to kind of find out your next moves, whether you've been a bit of a success, but now you're trying to really grow and expand in what parts, what avenues am I missing? Where could I maybe establish more of a presence when it comes to social media? Am I missing a certain market or demographic or whatever it is? Megan's got you covered with that.
She does. Again, Omega Video Marketing. You see the email on the bottom of the screen there. Megan, RG440 at gmail.com. If you're an aspiring digital content creator for personal or professional use, give her a contact, expand your followers, expand your contacts, all of that. Megan has that covered in her official business, official LLC. Like, that's pretty cool. I sent her congrats last week, and that was like, that's cool. Officially announced. Mike Favored.
We need to talk to Mike here shortly because I want to check in and see if he's healed yet.
I don't know.
He got mollywopped in that last
He did.
that last match. I also have wanted to use the word mollywop for a while,
I know.
and I finally found the right context to be able to, expunge that from my my vocabulary, so to speak. I'm using big words today, so eat a dick. But nevertheless, you're not gonna do it to me. Mike is.
Go ahead. You got this.
Yeah, you're damn right. Mike, there he is right there. Fantastic insurance agent. Obviously, he is a professional wrestler as well. So, Exodus Pro, they have a show coming up. We'll get to that in a few seconds here in just a few weeks. But nevertheless, Mike, fantastic. You would talk about insurance agents, and sometimes it can get a little dreary. You talk about, like, man, just it's a call I don't want to make and don't want to deal with. But Mike makes the best out of those situations and really gets you prepared for whatever life throws your way, whether it's car, auto insurance, whether it's your house, whether it's life insurance, one of those serious situations that could come about when you have to use that. Mike gets you prepared on the right track well before, hopefully, one of those events happens.
Yes, he does. MyFavoriteAgent.com. That's where you could check him out. And, of course, for our audio listeners, 216-932-6900. That's 216-932-6900. Mike from State Farm. And, we watched this match last week, and I forgot how brutal. Not his performance. His performance for getting in there, his very first professional wrestling match, he trained. And this is how dedicated he is. Full-time with State Farm and full-time taking full advantage and getting everyone situated, and also training for months upon months with EC3 and the whole crew. And he gave Strictly business. He made him sweat a little bit.
A little bit. Tell you what, hit the over.
He did.
In Vegas, he did.
He hit the over.
Yeah, for time in the match, he definitely did. So excited to see what Mike's next move is. Not only, obviously, we know what his next move is when it comes to helping you with insurance, but what the next move is when it comes to the professional wrestling sphere, so to speak.
Yeah, we cannot wait to see. Oh, man, I can't wait. We'll see if we see the claims adjuster. I don't know if he's going to wrestle. I think he needs a little bit more time. And I know it's been a couple months, but this show's coming up in a matter of weeks, less than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
When in Rome, coming up March 15th at Treelawn. Doors open at 6:05. Show starts at 7:05. But if you've never been to these shows before, you want to get there before the official main show starts. A lot of activity, a lot of good stuff, exclusive. Dark match that you won't see on the YouTube stream. But also, if you can't make the show, the NWA YouTube channel will have this show for you. And EC3 and the man who, I don't know if he's going to get his final flowers or not. We'll see, Richard Holiday. We'll see.
Be a fun match.
We're going to get to who I believe. I'm going to drop a tease for you right now. I do not believe Cody Rhodes will sell his soul. Do you believe he's going to sell his soul?
No.
Okay. In about a few minutes, we'll tell you who we think will. And I don't think it's a joint answer, but we'll tell you in a few
I really
minutes.
don't have an answer. I kind of just wanted to hear your take, and then,
Okay.
I'll roll with it. I really don't care. I have a couple different options I'd be okay with. So.
All right. I wanted to pull this up because we've been sitting on this topic for a few weeks now, but every single week we've heard SmackDown's a bad show. SmackDown's a bad show. It's unwatchable. It's just not a good product at all. So I rewatched it, and I wanted to pull up. We don't do reviews on this show, but in terms of wanting to kind of go through quickly, segment by segment, to really paint the picture of whether or not SmackDown's a terrible show. So he led off with Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso, Big Jim. I love
Big
that.
Jim.
Yeah. Again, I think McIntyre, great match to start off. Then you had Miz Carmelo Hayes versus R-Truth and Louisiana Knight.
God damn it. This guy was in world title matches like 9 months ago.
I know.
He's in the comedy match, unfortunately.
Well, and then they did the end angle with Nakamura.
Yeah.
I understand. Look, listen. I understand things get a little tight around WrestleMania season because I think the perception is you really shouldn't do comedy segments at all during WrestleMania season because the focus of this segment for the most of it was R-Truth comedy. With that being said, WrestleMania is 2 months away. Like, you can kind of switch things up a little bit. And you have 4 guys in the ring. It's the masters behind Kyle. All 4 men are entertaining. And I think Miz and Mello as a tag team, short-term tag team, I think has potential.
It does. I mean, it gives Mel something to do and someone to work with that can really teach him how to be a real pro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Miz is the jack of all trades of WWE. He's not taken seriously as a main eventer anymore, so to speak, but he can do essentially anything in any capacity for them. He can even have a halfway decent match, too. So, I mean, like, he can still do almost anything they need. And I think if Melo can really round out his game and get everything down and then have that experience with Miz, the rub will help.
Oh, definitely. Hour number 2, Tiffany Stratton. We talked, honestly, for me, entertainment-wise, that kind of brought, we talked about it earlier. So, and then that was the match, Tiffany and Candice LeRae and Charlotte. Okay. So, after that, video packages, you had the Liv and Raquel and Bianca Belair, that angle.
Yeah.
You had that right afterwards. And then The Rock. Now, in the classic days when it was a 2-hour show, if that was the show and it ended with Rock and Cody.
You could breathe a little bit, like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Makes sense.
Even if you didn't like that segment.
You didn't feel like you were fatigued watching the show. Yeah.
But the show continued.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. And afterwards, DIY came out. I hate to say this because Johnny Gargano is Cleveland. DIY, something's just not clicking.
That's
with
been
DIY.
that's been their entire, even with Triple H obviously making an effort to try and push them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just a company thing. I
Mhm.
don't know what it is, but just something doesn't get all the way there with Johnny and even Tommaso, unfortunately.
Honestly, I think with DIY, it's one of the rare cases where you saw their best work creatively in NXT.
Honestly,
Like,
as a tag
we're-
team and individually.
yeah, like we're not gonna get like heel Ciampa
Oh my God.
is
Oh
like
my
GOAT
God.
status in NXT.
It was wild how, and it was entertaining, and it was like, wow, like you felt something when you watched that.
I
Like,
think we get hints of that. We saw hints of that this past fall when we wasn't sure where Gargano stood and
Yeah.
we saw hints of that.
The aggression,
We have
yeah.
always seen hints of Ciampa in that row, but it's while in NXT he was at the top of the card in Gargano, they're never going to be at the top of the card on the main WWE roster.
I'll never say never, but I mean, right now it's just
Well,
it's hard to see it.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So because it's hard to see it, it's hard to book at least him in that role when you're trying to establish Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
When you're trying to establish some of the other main guys
Yeah.
there, it's just hard.
Right.
And then Pretty Deadly, out of the blue, they're baby faces.
I guess the story that was being told was that they were taken advantage of by DIY essentially, and now they're getting a flip, so to speak.
They don't make sense as baby faces. I understand the story.
Yeah.
I don't like the story.
Neither do I.
Doesn't make sense. And then the Street Profits, we've been talking about Montez Ford finally breaking loose for the last seemingly 5 years.
But I will say this: their attitude as a tag team. We thought we were going to get this with the Bobby Lashley team. We kind of got a little bit of it,
Mhm.
but like a real just like fuck everybody.
Mhm.
Like good. They hit good guys and they hit bad guys. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if I'm them, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of not being tag champs. We've been a tag team. If we're gonna stay a fucking tag team, let's get the fuck over, and let's get these belts back. Like I think that is refreshing to see them have that kind of mentality. I wish it would have been sooner. Also, we both think Montez could be.
I think the entire wrestling world believes that Montez Ford,
He could
whenever he
be-
can break out, is
He could
gonna
be the on the levels of like the future of like the Braun Breakers and the Jacob Fatus and those guys. He could be on that echelon. Eventually, I feel like he'll get there. and they have a built-in feud with him and with Angelo, and that gives Angelo a chance too to really show the people why he should be on that level as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought the main event was great with the tag match. Damian Priest, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, basically, it felt like a smoke break. He was like, I understand, you better man won, but that's okay. Tonight we're gonna get them.
Listen, they caught the lightning in the bottle with Braun. Kind of similar to like with Batista.
I know.
Obviously,
I'm
Batista was a
joking
bigger
around.
star. No offense to Braun, but Batista was obviously and then now obviously movie star and everything too. But they had that window of like 2016 to like 2020,
and it missed.
where Braun was a couple-time world champion. He had some good feuds. His stuff with Roman in the beginning part of that was fucking wild. Still the first time I ever saw someone get a fucking office chair thrown at him. I lost my mind when that happened. I was like, you can fucking do that? Like, I was like, wow. Like, but yeah, that was.
Well, and to be fair to COVID,
That
kind of
killed it a little bit. Yeah.
I will be fair.
And then he got released at the resurfacing of Vince McMahon and that stuff too, and had to get brought back. And someone that EC3 knows very well too, obviously Braun and Adam Shearer and all that stuff. So
the main event though was fun. I guess after watching SmackDown, I don't think it's as terrible as what people make it out to be.
It's just long.
But it's long.
That's why I didn't like the Raw being 3 hours, because it drags.
The
2 hours is a perfect length for a show. 2.5 is kind of pushing it, but we'll deal with it.
With 3-hour shows, the dangers of 3-hour shows. If you have one bad segment, it's a little amplified. Yeah. If you have 2 bad segments in a row,
it's half an hour.
Yeah, even 40 minutes.
Yeah.
If you have 2 bad segments in a row. If you have a segment where you're not really interested, so let's say you're not really interested in the R-Truth comedy, and then Tiffany lays an egg. Ooh, we're in trouble.
I think a lot of people would actually love to watch Tiffany lay an egg. Like, just say it. Listen.
I do have one other critique. One
shit.
other thing though with the Triple H booking that I am starting to notice some concerns. I think this is consistent with Monday Night Raw, too. I don't think he effectively uses the mid-card the way that he should. Like I said to you offline, I'm like, so we're doing Penta again, the B block? I think, and I don't hate Penta. I know I've been criticizing Penta. I think Penta is a great talent, and he's fun to watch. And that feud, even with Kaiser and Butch, like that was a great match. I think though there are certain guys, and we just talked about it. Guys like Ciampa, guys that we've talked about before, where we're just missing the boat on some of these mid-card guys. Like Braun, in my opinion, Braun Breaker should have a bigger role on Monday nights than he does right now. The fact that Braun Breaker has really not been taken full advantage of after the moment that he had at the Royal Rumble is criminal to me. Absolutely criminal. And I understand. And look, listen, Triple H is not going to get hit for it because he's hitting the ground running the main event scene. He's doing a great job with the main event scene, and it's great to talk about the main event scene every single week on this show and watching the product. But there's some opportunity with the mid-card. Mello, like, let's go. Like, let's get some things going. Like, I understand that he has a plan. He's putting guys on television. He's putting them on television, but what are they doing while they're on TV?
You're getting TV time, but you're not really – it's not – is it advancing you to make a difference in the short term and the long term? And I think that's – the Miz partnership could be something, like I said, that can kind of help him build out a mid-card role, and eventually we'll see him cross into that main event scene. With Braun, I think right now he's saddled with the IC title. I think we both think his talent is beyond that. They have to find a worthy challenger for him. I think that's the big issue. AJ is a name. Penta is being booked to win a lot of matches to, I imagine, eventually get there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of stuck in a spot where it's so early with Penta that you kind of have to book him into these prove-it matches with some of these guys that are also kind of in the mid-card, so to speak. But the eventual goal is to get him into some sort of championship spear, whether it be Braun or even fucking
And,
Gunther.
and the last thing here,
Or
before
Jay.
we get back to the final boss stuff, it's one thing if you don't have, if we can't hit go on a story.
Yeah.
I understand that. I get that. But sometimes it's important to just put them on television and, grab somebody from the Performance Center, have them get beat up, send them back to the Performance Center. We're not going to remember 5 years from now that, they could have a bright future in WWE, but they were squashed in a 30-second match against Braun Breaker on a random episode of Raw, so he has no chance of succeeding. No. You got to take full advantage of these guys on television. Montez Ford, same deal. You got to take advantage of these guys on TV. You can't just say, we don't have a story, so either we can't put them on television or we can't have them cut a promo. We can't have them do anything.
Yeah.
That messed up Gunther last year.
Yeah.
Gunther is finally now starting to regain some of the momentum that he had during his Intercontinental Championship run. Think about if he was on television during most of the summer. So
Right.
So yes, we criticize Triple H too, and these are things that Triple H has to work on, and his team has to work on to elevate themselves even further higher up as far as writing quality for the totality of the show.
Now, speaking of elevating, I want to see who you think should be elevated into being the Rock's bitch.
So
I have a theory. I'm going to just say this, and then I want you to take over. So the only person that really makes sense in my head for this, and is someone that maybe no one would really expect, is Drew McIntyre.
he actually leads, I believe Drew McIntyre leads our voting on Facebook.
He's mentioned The Rock's a buddy. The bloodline stuff is an interesting tie. If I can't beat him, join him. He could do the full circle thing where I want to be a big star. I want to be in movies. I want the lighter schedule. I want to see my family. Cody,
hot
don't you know?
wife.
I tried to warn you about this, Cody. But you didn't. He could do the full thing. And that would make sense. It keeps Cena and Punk free for Mania 2 if you don't want to put them in a title match with Cody. I don't know. But, to me, logically, plus Cody and Drew's a fresh matchup. We haven't seen that in over a decade. And same thing with Punk and Cody had back and forth in the Rumble.
And it's a traditional babyface versus heel matchup.
Something you like.
Traditional.
So, that for me, that's what in my head makes the most sense. But obviously, who the fuck knows?
So
I'm not in the Rock's head.
Rebecca wants Cody to turn heel. I don't think
course
she's
she
really
does.
seen much. I think she remembers a little bit of Cody's heel run at AEW. I think a little bit.
Mustache Cody back in 2013.
Oh, Jesus.
IC title Cody was a pretty good run.
Oh, man.
Dashing Cody was not that bad. He was a dick. It was great.
Look, Impact Wrestling, Cody, heel wrestling. And then you get Brandy every week? Okay, you know what? I might warm up to that. I just don't think it'll happen. CM Punk. And I kind of wish I'm wrong because I really, really love CM Punk as a babyface. I run a root for him every single week. But I understand that kids sometimes, their favorite superstars turn too. Right, New Day? So
Sometimes you have to read the room.
CM Punk confidently said he was going to win the Royal Rumble, didn't get the job done. CM Punk was overshadowed during his entire 434-day championship run a decade ago by The Rock.
Yeah, because Rock and Cena had their match, and that was basically put him on the back burners twice.
The fact that Dwayne Johnson's in the main event of WrestleMania and I'm not makes me sick. Remember those words. If you were around 10 years ago, you know those words. And you know CM Punk, suit and tie. You know CM Punk, businessman. You know CM Punk is not about, the making friends part.
Wants to make money.
He wants to make money. He wants to do business.
Wants to be the biggest star possible so he can make the most money.
And CM Punk dropped a hint last week or 2 weeks ago, a little hint, a little nugget. You might have missed it if you didn't notice. He did drop a little nugget in his promo, mentioning how, Cena just gets a spot and I have to qualify. Cena gets this treatment and I have to be the company guy each and every single week. Oh, by the way, why am I the company guy now? I think CM Punk, in my opinion, selling his soul. CM Punk already sold his soul the moment he came back to WWE. He buried the company. Everything that Seth Rollins said about CM Punk is 100% true. Everything that he has said. We don't want to listen to Seth Rollins because we love CM Punk. I love CM Punk. CM Punk is my favorite wrestler. I will fully admit that. CM Punk is my favorite. With that being said, everything that Seth Rollins said is 100% right. CM Punk sold his soul the moment he returned to WWE. So what makes you think he wouldn't sell his soul to this man? What makes you think he doesn't want those movie roles to provide for his family? He left WWE for a decade. What makes you think he wouldn't do it again?
Listen, Logan Paul had a good point, too. You failed upward.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't do anything and win. AEW, he obviously won the World Championship a couple times, but he got fucking booted out of that company. He got fired. UFC, 0-2. Essentially got fired. Couldn't hack it. Couldn't do it. Like, he had a few TV roles, movie roles, whatever it was, didn't really do well. I mean, this is an opportunity for Punk to be like, I'm going to maximize the last few years of my career. And you know what? Yeah, I'll work with you. Yeah. But also, it's a snake working with a snake at that point. So you never know what's going to happen. But
what if I told you John Cena's winning this chamber? It's in the main event. And then CM Punk politics his way. Uses the power of The Rock.
Oh, now are you getting interested in the triple threat match now? Because
now you got your triple threat.
Okay, yeah. I think actually, unfortunately, it's probably going to be the other way. I think the most likely thing with this is you get Cena and Rock working together. Unfortunately.
I disagree with one thing you just said. I think it'll be fortunately if it happens.
Yeah, you know.
I have not considered The Rock. I'm sorry. I have not considered John Cena turning because in my head, I just wrote it off.
But think about this, though. For the first time in his career, Cena did something on screen selfish. He used his spot and his name to get a spot in the chamber. Heel move.
Because he used the term best for business.
He's earned this. It's his name. Right? First time. He said he was going to be there every week. Immediately goes and films a movie and is gone.
Yeah.
He's made one. The running joke now is Dwayne has made more appearances on TV than John Cena has on John Cena's retirement tour year.
Who's this retirement tour really for?
The fucking dominoes are lining up. I think you're more likely to probably get that triple threat with Roman, Seth, and Punk than you are, unfortunately, now with, Cena, Punk, and Cody. But we're getting a triple threat. Which one is it? Who knows?
I have one other concern, though. So I'm saying CM Punk. I don't think you put in an official pick for who's selling their soul. We both don't think it's going to be Cody.
No.
I think the reason why Cody, and let's address that real quick. The reason why Cody will not sell his soul, Cody already has everything he wants.
He never wanted it. He wanted to act when he was younger, but he wanted to act because he wanted to help him build his wrestling career. He brought that up in documentaries, all that stuff. He is exactly where he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's the champion. He's got a beautiful family. He's good to go. He's made more money than I'm sure he knows what to do with for the future and stuff, too, with all everything else he has going on. There's nothing really The Rock can offer Cody besides, again, the one thing they're trying to tease in storyline is making his life easier from a work standpoint. But this has always been a guy, he left to go do the work.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been work. There's obviously an appeal to, I could have a little bit of a load taken off my shoulders. I could make things a little bit easier. but he snaps out of that pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
You even saw on Raw him contemplating, and you could see in his face, it's like, no. But a couple other guys, I honestly think it will be Cena, but I would not be surprised if Punk says sure.
And look, listen, if it's Cena,
Holy
I'm cool.
shit! Holy that moment!
That would be historic.
That moment, like, oh my god, like, oh my god. Let's see if they do it at Chamber, or if they wait for a show, but like, oh my god,
That would be historic.
That
We
would
got
be-
some talking points. Like, we have historic talking points if it's Cena. If it's CM Punk, all right, great. I'm right. But if it's... But you know what? If it's Cody, I'm cool with that too.
I'm interested to see where they go with that.
If it's Drew McIntyre, I'm fine with it. Initially, I will admit, it will feel a little bit like a letdown, but that doesn't mean it's a bad decision.
In my head, it makes the most sense, but in reality, I'd like to see something else happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, logically, I'll be like, okay, makes sense. But, like, obviously, I'll be like, well, shit, it could have been CM Punk or John. All right, well, whatever. But
I do admit we have a bit of a Logan Paul problem.
yeah, no, we don't.
In
Who the fuck's facing him? Is it going to be one of those two? Is it going to be AJ Styles? Is he going to get Braun Breaker? I have no fucking idea.
Because Logan has to be.
He's got to be featured.
He has to be featured some way.
Yep.
His opening promo with Punk really alarmed me because it may be because it was just Punk. Punk is so far ahead in terms of ability, in terms of promo.
Well, that depends on who you ask. Some people hated Punk's promo. Hey,
But you know what?
okay.
The one thing you got to identify, if Logan Paul's going to have a spotlight WrestleMania match, who's going to be the person who's the ideal babyface where Logan would make sense and where he would be able to somewhat match? Where will he be most successful, I guess?
Well, I think
in
Logan,
terms of the build.
if he's facing somebody at WrestleMania and it's not a championship match, the goal, I would imagine, is for it to be a babyface to get them over.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's AJ Styles. Because then obviously you want to put Logan over to kind of progress him through. But I honestly, because Logan can carry it, I wouldn't mind seeing Penta versus Logan Paul. If you're looking for just a pure, like, athletic contest where Logan can kind of carry it with the promos and Penta can just keep beating everybody and then you kind of build this to this whole thing. Like, I mean, that's not bad for me. I think,
and Logan has had success against Ricochet in that type of feud.
yeah, it wasn't a great feud, but I mean, like, we could see him carry it.
Mm-hmm.
And Penta wouldn't be in the same situation as same situation as Ricochet was, in that, yeah, Ricochet cut a promo against him. It's like, no, we know Penta's limited when it comes to promo, so it's more about Logan kind of carrying that with his ability to speak, and then Penta obviously delivering the match in the ring.
All right, quickly, Elimination Chamber. We're just doing the matches or the Chamber matches itself.
Yeah.
Predictions. I will start with the men's. Based on what I just said a couple minutes ago, I have John Cena winning the Chamber, and then CM Punk that night, The Rock will come out.
Now, does The Rock come out? Does this happen before the Chamber or after the
After.
Chamber? Do you think the Women's Chamber is the main event?
Oh, no. The men's will be the main event.
You sure?
The men will be the main event because it will have a bigger story.
I guess.
John Cena's going to win the Chamber. John Cena's about the main event, his final WrestleMania. The Rock is going to come out.
Watch Damian Priest win the fucking Chamber. Boricua!
The Rock comes out
I love it.
after the match is over, and he says the word, or he says something to the effect of, "It's now go time," or something. He'll say something.
If The Rock comes out and says, "It's now go time," I will die.
he will say,
You'll be sitting on my couch next to me, and I will be laughing my ass off.
he will say,
Holy shit.
he will say, "It's go time,"
It's
or
go
something.
time.
And then CM Punk will beat his ass.
Yes.
And then and honestly, that also ties into the favor.
Yeah, I think we both have Cena winning the Chamber. My difference is I think Cena wins and then Rock Cody segments afterwards,
Mm.
and that's when Cena makes the official turn. We know we're already getting Cody and Cena. How could they make this bigger? Cena's a fucking heel.
Mm.
So
For the women's, Bianca Belair is on her way to winning the Chamber. And then it's revealed that she did it.
like right before.
And then she's wiped out.
You almost don't even have to do that. You can almost have it where Jade just shows up
I'll take that.
and she attacks Belair, and you're like, why did she do that? Like, what the fuck? Like, and even Bianca can act confused. It's all part of the fucking ploy. And then eventually on a TV, we get to see Jade come out and basically cut a promo saying, "You want to know why I fucking did what I did? Watch this shit."
Well,
Like,
we've
you know.
been seeing that classic segment from 2002 with Triple H and Shawn Michaels has the tape.
Yeah.
It's like, you damn right it was me. You damn right I did it. It was that. My pick, I know I was pushing for Alexa Bliss. I'm going to go with Roxanne Perez.
You just don't want Liv to win this, do you?
Hell no.
Liv Morgan's gonna win
Okay.
the Chamber. Sorry.
All right. We have.
You changed the title.
I know. The title I had was better.
All right, so I need some time.
We're not going to do rapid fire.
No, we're
today.
not. No, we're not.
Kyle, the floor is yours.
So I want to preface this by saying, Double A, I want you to, when this is over, we'll wrap the show after this. I would like you to cut the full segment. It's at the end, so hopefully it's a little bit easier for you. I know I'm asking you to do a little bit more than normal. And then send it to me so I can post this full video on TikTok for the people I'm about to mention. We are very, very grateful and very lucky for the fans and the people that enjoy the show. Whether you take in 30-second clips on TikTok or you listen and watch the full show on YouTube, or obviously the audio version's over on Spotify, iHeartRadio app, whatever it is. That being said, with the rise in popularity that we've seen over the past year, there are certain people and certain creators that have an issue with certain things that we say, and in particular this past week, something I said.
Huh.
Though I think you pretty much agree with me. When it comes to our friends over at All Elite Wrestling. Now, what you don't know, Double A, is that I took some notes.
Oh boy, this is pretty special.
So
This doesn't happen.
So now we won't be able to do this in the future because we're just getting too damn big, right? We're getting thousands of subscribers.
Sponsors.
The views are we've got to be close to, if not over 1 million views easily across all platforms. We're getting to the point. This started from nothing, and we're here, and we're going up. So I'm not going to be able to do this. But certain people on TikTok decided to stitch our video on AEW.
Oh.
And decided to call out, mostly me, but us, for my take, on why AEW isn't selling, all this kind of stuff. So, now, mind you, this video, and I have 4 different creators we're going to address here.
Okay.
That I took notes on what they said to us in their
Okay.
stitch. This video on TikTok alone had 18,000 views. It had hundreds of likes, hundreds of comments. 90 to 95% of the comments were with us. Just being like, yeah, they're kind of right. Like, a lot of the shit we were saying was, like, hitting home. It's like, yeah.
And let's be clear, too. If you disagree with us, that's cool.
It's fine.
But there are...
So...
You got to be rational.
4 people decided to use our video, either stitch it or comment on it and attach a video to it. First off, I just want to say that if you take your time out of your day to see something on social media and say, man, I hated that so much, I have to pick up my phone and record a reaction to it. Boy, aren't we doing our fucking jobs, huh? I'll tell you what. Wow. Thank you so much for the attention. It's greatly appreciated. That being said, let's fucking dive in. So the first person, and the reason why I want Double A to send this full clip to me so I can post it all on TikTok is so I can tag you motherfuckers individually, all right? The first person is Nasty Leroy. Nasty Leroy, all right, buddy. So he called WWE, or actually no, he called AEW a $1 billion/$1 million company. LOL is what I put next to that. Wrong order. Also, yeah, they're a $1 billion company in everyone's head, right? He talked about selling out arenas all over the world and all that stuff for AEW. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, they're privately owned, by the way. They're not an independent. They're privately owned, very well funded by a man who has no idea and can't manage his way out of a fucking Target. Ask the guy who's one of the main eventers on the other fucking show. But nevertheless,
Just ask a Target manager.
the arena's going downhill too. A lot of those sellouts that were sellouts 5 years ago are 2,000 people right now. So nevertheless,
Or even 2 years ago.
he got mad about the independent thing. I mentioned I had said that they're doing independent bullshit. I want to preface that by saying that we obviously love Exodus Pro. We love our independents. That being said, there's also levels to the game, right? This is presented as AEW is presented as direct competition to WWE. I and AA and myself, we don't compare the two because really there's no comparison. They are technically two separate companies, two different shows. I get that, but it's all still pro wrestling. It all is. Whether they want to admit it or not, down to its core, down to the essence, they're both professional wrestling.
And I will add, even if you just think, oh, it's just those bad guys, just AA and Kyle.
Yeah.
We actually brought in a full panel
We did.
at the end of a couple months ago. We
With
brought in a
AEW
full
fans
panel
on it.
with AEW fans, and we were like, hey,
None of them stormed out.
any do you watch this product every single week, AEW? And even the AEW fans are like, it's a tough watch.
Okay, so he also told us to do our fucking research, shut the fuck up, and then he said, look shit up, based on what he was talking about.
What's there to look up?
The look up is like, you don't know what you're talking about. They're an over company, all that stuff, whatever it is.
You do the research every week by seeing what's on the screen.
Yeah. So listen, Nasty Leroy, I appreciate you, brother. Wish you the best. I will never shoot down or actually take shots at another content creator. It's one thing for us to go at a promotion or company that we have an issue with because they're a $1 billion organization, or in this case, a $1 billion or $1 million organization. And we obviously can do that. But I'm not taking shots at you. So wish you the best. I have to move along here. Next one was the best one. Well, to an extent. Undead Soldier is the next guy who
I love that
went
name.
on it. Yeah.
Love the name.
He called me uneducated, unathletic, non-wrestlingist ass fan. Told me I never did wrestle or got anywhere near the wrestling business. About the selling, he mentioned Jacob Fatu. My point to that, obviously, Undead Soldier, is that there's one person in WWE doing what you mentioned, not selling some key moves. One person, not the entire roster, one person. He's not Orange Cassidy either. He's fucking important, so whatever. He brought up Taz not selling certain things, Billy Gunn not getting powerbombed. It's stuff that doesn't really apply to this, but I get you're trying to make comparisons, whatever. Good for you, bud.
Taz actually made money for
yeah,
ECW.
You go figure. AEW and WWE styles are different. We agree on that. Again, one style doesn't work. One style has proven to make money and draw ratings. And by ratings, I want to preface this too. I don't mean just TV. I'm talking social media. Are you getting clicks? Are you getting views on your videos? Right? Are you getting renewed for TV deals long term? That kind of stuff is important, but there's other aspects. Are you selling out fucking crowds, stadiums, venues? What's the attendance like? Are people fucking interested? That's where we fucking differ with this. Never said that there wasn't any good wrestlers, that they aren't good pro wrestlers. That's my thing with that. That's my comment to you. There are really good wrestlers in AEW, but they don't get pro wrestling because pro wrestling isn't just I can do 15 flips. Get me invested in your match. Why should I fucking care? There are problems with some people in WWE that can't do that either. But you're not a good pro wrestler if you're not well-rounded. There's a fucking difference, and no one talks about it.
You're being a little nice about this. There's one creator on your list that I think is on your list.
Yeah, we'll
that
talk
I can't
about that.
Wait to get to.
That's the piece de resistance at the end. He says we never attempt to watch it, and then he called us lame. So we have tried. I've tried to watch AEW.
I watch embarrassingly enough AEW.
You watch too much AEW.
And again, our job for this show is to come up with the best stories to discuss, and usually they don't make the list.
I want to touch on the uneducated, unathletic part of this too. I won't speak for my partner because he obviously has a college degree and was an athlete throughout his life. I don't need to boost him up any higher unless I gave him a booster seat. But nevertheless, he obviously is great.
Dad, let's put me their roast video, not our roast video.
Oh, that's not even trying to roast. I'm just trying to address this because we're going to get too big and not be able to fucking do this again. But I will say this,
Pay my
uneducated,
student loans.
I got a couple degrees too. That's great. But unathletic is funny to me. I mean, I was a Division I college basketball player. I did train to be a professional wrestler for multiple months. I left it because I couldn't take the time to do this properly. And I have enough respect for the business to make room for people that actually could dedicate the time. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I loved taking bumps. I loved getting chopped. I loved getting hit. I loved all of it. But I didn't have the time. I was having a son at the time. My broadcasting career was taking off too. It was kind of in a spot where I just couldn't afford enough time to go train properly. Let me get out of the way and let someone else take that spot that could actually dedicate the amount of time to it. A lot of these guys are just speaking on us because they don't know who we are. They have no idea, right? It's popular to just to stitch a video and just make something out of it.
Yeah.
So nevertheless, Undead Soldier, man, wish you the best. Again, I'm never going to take a shot at another creator, even though you will. Okay. Heel Mike is the next one. This one was funny.
Hey, what up, Mike?
He said, disrespectfully, shut the fuck up. LOL. That was funny.
Did he put it in all caps?
No, I did.
I should have.
He basically, he went out and said, normally I'd say respectfully, but this time I'm going to say disrespectfully, shut the fuck up. That was kind of funny. I giggled at that. He told us to stop bitching and whining, but you're the one that stitched our video bitching and whining about us bitching and whining. That's kind of ironic. Everybody.
That's a double negative.
This
That's
dude
double
said
bitching.
everybody comes from the indies, and he mentioned Roman as the second name. Buddy, Roman was in WWE. He was a professional. He wasn't professional. He actually did play a little bit, I think, pro football. I think maybe he walked
Yes,
on
he
or
did.
yeah, and then college
Yes,
football.
He did.
He
Georgia
mentioned
Tech.
He mentioned AJ Styles. AJ independent, not as much. He was more known for his TNA time. He did say TNA was an independent. I thought that was funny. No, it's not. Even when TNA first started, it was privately owned by Dixie Carter and her family, so not really fucking true. But nevertheless, I get the idea of what you're going with
AJ
there.
started at WCW.
Yeah. Nevertheless. I'm sure he did some independence before that, but I get what you're saying. He's telling us to let people enjoy it. Listen, enjoy what the fuck you want. It's cool. We don't care. I mean, we literally get paid to give our take on professional wrestling, not just WWE, all of professional wrestling, even though some of it's very hard to watch sometimes. We are paid to do that. So, sorry.
I want to know how he's enjoying that Deaf Rider storyline, by the way.
I'm sure he's fucking
We want to
thrilled.
talk about entertainment. Oh, boy.
He
That's
said
top-level entertainment.
This is the line that got me. This is the line that got me. He said that at one point GCW was more talked about than WWE. What in the name of the internet wrestling community are the fuck are you talking about, buddy? Like, my God, that's hilarious. It could have been a better show. Listen, I didn't watch GCW. The content could have been better, but it was not talked about more in WWE. That's just ludicrous.
Was that on Channel 43?
You sure? No. He told us that we're the reason for tribalism is why that's around. He said that we're nitpicking, even though it's the simplest form of just fucking sell. Do your fucking job. It's part of being a professional wrestler.
Every wrestling fan nitpicks.
And he said we are responsible for promotions like TNA not doing as well.
TNA?
Yeah. For some reason,
How?
TNA got brought into this too because they're an independent.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
Fucking Anthem is an independent. You're exactly right. Totally. 100%. That's not a
According
big
to his
company.
logic, WWE SmackDown's independent.
He
Go
also
ahead.
said Cody Rhodes did his best work as an independent wrestler, and he did more in the independents than he ever did for WWE, which, again, he's been a champion for a year. He main evented the biggest WrestleMania of all time. I don't know if he did more, but I do think his work in independence was important. So I'll give you that. Heel Mike, appreciate you, brother. Again, not taking any shots at you. I just thought it was kind of funny, some of the stuff you said. Last person. This is the boy's favorite.
Yeah.
Suplex Media. I'm going to call you Sue because I don't know your fucking name.
I was working out when I saw this comment.
This is wild.
I
It's not a
was working
comment.
out.
This motherfucker stitched us because he likes to do that from time to time again. He called it 2 different TV shows. Duh. That's common sense. Yes, they're technically 2 different TV shows. Literally, they are on different networks. He said logic from one show to the next. You can't take that over. Why do you do that? He said one show, WWE isn't pro wrestling. It's a show about pro wrestling. AEW is a pro wrestling show. I want you to understand how stupid you sounded when you said that. Sorry. You
I'm
wanna
not
say
sorry. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly.
I'm not sorry. What the hell is that?
You're kind of right, but
Did he
again,
really say that?
I wrote it down kind of. I scribbled it down at work today, but at my main job, I get paid for multiple things. How about that? But nevertheless.
Cause us talking about this dumb shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. So that's the funny thing about it. They're both fucking pro wrestling, okay? You are right. The one thing that you did say, that the styles are different. We talked about that before. Very correct. There are different styles to pro wrestling, but there is fundamentals that go into pro wrestling, right? And some of the things that are fundamentally that need to be done. This is not saying WWE does it all well. The problem with all these guys is they think we're comparing the two companies. That AEW should be more like WWE. That's not what we're saying. And I can tell you don't watch the full episode because you don't get the full context. You get it off a 30-second fucking clip off TikTok. But nevertheless, right?
Yeah.
We don't need them to be more like WWE. I want them to be more like pro wrestling. The full landscape. Get me invested in a story. Tell me why I should watch it. Then deliver a great match the proper way. That's what I want. That's what a lot of people want. Like I said, 90 to 95% of the people were agreeing with a lot of our fucking takes on this. What's this war here? We never question the internal logic of WCW versus WWE or WWE versus TNA. Dude, what fucking rock have you lived under? Like, people were questioning that shit back when it was going on, and they still do. It's always been a thing. AEW is the popular one now. It's always been a thing.
We recap,
that goes back into the fucking territories.
And we recap what happened in the past week. We don't recap.
Yeah, it's
we don't do in the Vault segment about the downfall of WCW.
He calls us talking about this essentially dumb shit. This is stupid. Well, if it's stupid, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to make a video to talk about our dumb shit. That really makes a lot of sense. But nevertheless, he also cut out a part which was hilarious. He cut it out of the stitch because I wrote it down originally, and it's gone now. So I don't know how he did that, but he's an impressive one. That guy. Maybe media is in the title. Maybe he can fucking show us a thing or two with that. He called WWE Airbud and called AEW NBA. Now the preface of this was that WWE and AEW are like pro basketball. One's a show about pro basketball, and one's actual basketball. So he likened WWE to Airbud and AEW to the NBA. My concern is that the crack you're smoking is starting to take over and really dive you down a rabbit hole you don't want to get to, buddy. If you need help, we have a number. Feel free to stitch us again, and we'll make sure to get you that number, okay? But wow, that was wild.
First of all,
love Airbud.
First of all, Airbud is a great movie.
It's a good movie.
I mean, if he would have said if he would have said basketball, now that's a different story. Now I would take offense.
So he cut that part out. He thought maybe we wouldn't see it. I did. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
You appreciate that?
I was laughing the entire time. And again, I want to point out, brother, like, listen, you have your own channel. You have your own thing. Appreciate you for what you do. Obviously, we're all in the pro wrestling space. There's no reason why we need to fight and argue over all this bullshit. Like, we have opinions. It's our job to give that. Literally, it's our job. I don't know if these guys get paid to do what they do. I'm assuming they probably do. But nevertheless, I'm assuming. So, this is the most you're going to get out of us. I'm not stitching your videos. I got shit to do. I'm not doing that. This is my one chance before, like you said, we get too busy to be able to do this. He also likes to end his videos with this saying, Remember, pro wrestling is predetermined. Your life isn't. Go do something great today. I feel like I did something good today. I feel like I addressed the haters a little bit, and I turned the other cheek, so to speak. But nevertheless.
All right, we got to end the show. I'm going to end with this from Suplex Media. He said in the comments, how do matches end? And then somebody tweeted and said, with Dave Meltzer nutting.
Usually with a 3 count. And a finishing move that's protected would be nice, but.
Catch Voice of the Land. They got a big guest coming up. They're going to talk about the first place Cavaliers and other big stuff going on across sports in Cleveland. And maybe somebody from another city is going to smoke about sports.
He thought I was going to fucking lose it. I mean, I was more just like, hey, we're not going to get a chance to do this very often. So it's nice to be able to talk to the people that enjoy our content and take time out of their day.
They really posted a video.
They stitched our video. They talked about us. I mean, one guy called me unathletic. I mean, that's wild. I mean, if you ever want me to dunk on you and put my nuts in your mouth, by all means, just come on down. because I still can, and I still will. Dude, just don't talk about people you don't know. Like, it's one thing to have a problem with our takes, but like, comment. Like, you're making videos out of it. Like, that's hilarious. Like,
y'all can't
rent
let
free,
y'all
rent
can't-
free.
Y'all
Rent.
can't let
I pay $1,200 a month in rent. Not for you in your fucking head.
y'all can't
Free.
let Kyle put his nuts in your face, man. That can't happen. That's
My
disrespectful.
freshly shaven balls, right on your fucking eyebrows.
Manscaping too, man.
Yep.
Y'all can't be letting that happen.
Damn right.
Y'all lucky he
Manscaped.
Y'all
Hook
lucky
me
he
up.
do that.
Love your products.
Good
Whoa.
night, America.
We're on that. Good night, America. What the fuck? Good night, world. We got international fucking people that watch the show, wherever you're at.
Good night, America.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Post Elimination Chamber. We're gearing up for WrestleMania season. It's in full effect. We'll see you, Sells or Soul. Talk to you guys.
Nuts. It's his face. His mouth.